Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today will be something very special, like all my videos are. And yeah, I'm doing something a little different this time. I'm doing a bit more experimental stuff here on my channel now because, I don't know, I've been trying to be more different in each video, you know? I've been trying to be experimental here and there for a while, but no idea where to start, but I found some ideas here and there. But anyways, today is pretty special. I get to meet some amazing people I just heard about a while back. So here we are. Welcome to my Primos vlog in LA. Well, here I am, right here in LA, as I mentioned. Gotta say, the place I went to, Avenue 50 something, I forget the name, I'm sorry. It's a really nice small area they got here. I mean, it's a cute area. It's a cute small area here. And it's perfect for art displays and everything and such. But my number one problem I have with is definitely the air conditioning, or lack thereof, unfortunately. That's my only criticism, is that this place has no air conditioning. It's just the most insane thing I ever survived. I cannot survive this at all. Hot heat like this, it kind of makes me lose my mind for a sec. But you know what? I did my best. I survived this. So that's right, you guys. I just met Craig Bartlett, the creator of Hey Arnold. Definitely one of the most creative creators out there. And also Natasha. I seen that as well earlier. It's just phenomenal to have these people here. Wow. Well, I'm already having a good day. Rick's reading a newspaper right now. And these are the other crew that worked on Primos right now.
Alright, thank you all very much for coming out this afternoon. Appreciate you making the trek here, whether you're coming in locally or braving any one of the many freeways around here. Thank you very much for coming out today. To begin this session, we begin by acknowledging that Los Angeles sits on the land of the Gabrieleño Tongva peoples. We acknowledge the Gabrieleño Tongva as the original caretakers of Tobangar, which spans LA County and the California Channel Islands. The Gabrieleño Tongva people continue to remain in relationship with these lands through ceremony, culture, and stewardship. They are important parts of not only the history of this area, but also in continuing to acknowledge this, but also in the continuing knowledge of this place. This session of the Latino Writers Conference acknowledges our presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gabrieleño Tongva peoples. This session acknowledges the Gabrieleño Tongva peoples as the traditional land caretakers of Tobangar. We pay our respects to the Honu Vetam, the ancestors, the Ahi Iron, the elders, and the Ayoin Ken, our relatives and relations, past, present, and emerging. To go beyond acknowledgement, I encourage you to visit tongva.land. Because I do like going beyond just simple land acknowledgements, and we all have a cell phone here, I'm going to take 10 seconds. For a couple minutes, please feel free to reach for your phone, and it's a very simple website. I do volunteer with this organization as well. It's called tongva.land. That's Tongva spelled Tongva.land, not .com. Tongva.land is one place where you can start to learn more about the Tongva community within Los Angeles. And if you wish to go beyond just this land acknowledgement today, also make a donation as well. All right, let's get started. So this panel, Latino Writers in Animation, from starting out to show running. So we're aiming to showcase all the different career stages of writing for animation, from staff writer all the way to story editor and showrunner. Woo! All right, and just so everyone knows, I am the baby in terms of career expertise here, so I am turning to all my betters today. And also, as we get rolling here, please also feel free to think of, write down any questions. We also have some seats up here at the front. Please come on in. Rickshaw can see you, Matt. Come on. Don't worry, this is a super friendly environment. Seats also over on this side too.
Yeah, one here.
Without further ado, let's meet a few of our, well, all of our speakers today. First up, on right here in the corner office seat, we have Natasha Kline. Kline, creator, showrunner, and executive producer on Primos at Disney Television Animation. Well, actually, I also need to add Emmy-nominated Natasha Kline.
There you go.
Natasha began her journey as a storyboard artist, has been a director, designer, writer, is now my boss and showrunner. Natasha's credits go from big and small screen alike, including Big City Green, South Park, BoJack Horseman, the Lego Ninjago movie, Hey Arnold the Jungle movie, and Home Adventures with Tip and O. Everybody, please welcome Natasha. We have next up Norma Sepulveda. I feel like I'm going to lose you. Story editor on Disney Junior's Ariel, coming up at Wild&Airy. Norma P. Sepulveda has written on Disney Junior's Firebuds, Mickey Mouse Funhouse, and you know it, Elena of Avalor, and Netflix's Spirit Rangers. In 2020, Norma also sold and developed an original series at Netflix and is currently in development with a new project at Disney Junior. Congratulations. And finally, Jeannette Lara, my friend and partner in crime at Latinx Animation. We'll get many commercials and plugs for this organization today as well. All right. Jeannette credits her love for storytelling to comics, anime, and playing with Barbie dolls and action figures. Barbenheimer. A finalist for Screencraft 2019 Animation Competition and quarterfinalist for the 2016 Nichols Fellowship in Screenwriting. Jeannette has written on Alma's Way, Rainbow High, Santiago of the Seas, and other upcoming projects. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. And if you're just walking in, we also still have some seats up here in the front as well. Please feel free to come forward. One over here. Okay, to get us started, we're going to do a round of mini introductions. So please feel free to say your name, pronouns, your title, and the first time you felt seen in a movie or TV show. So name, pronouns, title, first time you felt seen in a movie or TV show. When did you go like, oh, finally someone gets me, and that can be your identity in any way?
The microphone's over here, so. And it's ours. Hello, I'm Natasha Kline. My pronouns are she, they. I am the executive producer and creator of Primos for Disney Channel. And the first time I felt seen on TV was never, which is why I'm making a TV show about my life, so that I will finally feel seen. was that all the questions?
That was all.
All right. There you go.
Hi everyone, my name is Norma P. Sepulveda, story editor on Disney Junior's Ariel, and my pronouns are she, her. The first time I saw myself seen based on the criteria you laid out was probably the Selena movie, and yeah, that was the first time.
Hello, my name is Jeannette Lara. My pronouns are she, her. And I'm a freelance writer, also I do development work, and for me personally, the first time I felt seen was Sesame Street, character named Maria, portrayed by Sonia Manzano, who got to be my boss too for Almost Away, so that was cool.
Yes.
I love the full circle moment. Thank you. So we'll start with Jeannette and then we'll go our way back down the line. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Broadly as a storyteller. Well, I have a very interesting, very different upbringing from most, Latinas and all that. Like for me, where I grew up at the time, my father was in the service in Japan. Is kind of how I got into storytelling because of that. And a lot of it I credited actually to my sister. She was the artist in the family. And Angela mentioned Barbie doll. We would put on a whole production. Any moment that whatever we saw on TV, we would try to imitate with our. We actually literally had over 50 Barbie dolls. So we would put on a whole production, and that's also where our storytelling just started there. I mean, it's the little things like that that, you know, when you're a kid, you don't really notice that you're already doing the thing that you end up doing as an adult. But yeah, I think those are the first scenes for sure.
I identify as an indigenous Chicana, born and raised in LA, by way of Pasadena. I started out in South LA, moved to Pasadena. I was young, at the age of 6, we grew up just poor, on welfare, food stamps, everything. And, but ever since I was little, all the kids kind of shared one bedroom. And every time, and because I was the youngest, I had no voice in the house, and the brothers ran the TV. So I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna go in that room where no one's there right now, and I'm just gonna sit there and just dream my life away. Like, when I'm this age, I'm gonna have this. When I'm this age, I'm gonna have that. So I've always been looking for the dream, the goal. Like, I was always looking out there, like something beyond my circumstances. And so that's where the writing started. Just starting with my own personal mantras as a 6, 7, 8-year-old, and building from that, writing poetry, then going, you know, around 14 and 15, just really tapping into music and dancing, choreography. And by the time I was 16, I was recording my own demos at the studio, and then getting into a band and all that stuff. It was just always there. But then once I got to, when I realized that writing itself was for me, was when I was at film school for radio, TV, film, and directing, and as a screenwriter, I had to take a screenwriting course. And the screenwriter, and I was like, oh my God, like what am I doing here? Like, I'll write something. So I wrote a feature, and she called me back after I had submitted the script, and she's like, you need to focus on this. I'm like, but I don't even like to read books. Like, why do I want to, like, how? She goes, you have a voice. And I was like, what does that mean? Translate, like, what, you know, so I just didn't understand that. But then fast forward, that was the thing that somebody had said, you're good at this. Outside of me just pushing this hill up, like, I need to get out of my circumstances. Someone else was coming in. And I did have a few people along the way, but I had this particular teacher, Professor Alexis Krasinski, at Season, she was retired, and she said, you're good at this. So after I graduated from Season, I was a job. That's the day job, and I hated it. Passing me by, and I was just like, yeah, that's not, that dream was for not me. And then I said, I'm just gonna apply to that school. If I get in, I'm gonna chase that train. And if I don't, I'm gonna shut up and keeping moving. And I got it. That was an over answer, but I felt like it had an arm. Sorry.
That was a big answer.
I love your answer. My background. I grew up right outside LA in the Inland Empire, which apparently has a bad reputation.
Guilty.
I grew up in a little town called Fontana, but also lived in Rialto. That's where I'm from. And I grew up in a really large, multicultural family. I think as a lot of people in the LA area do. You know, the foundation of my family is Mexican American. My grandmother, well, is from Mexico, or was from Mexico, she's dead now. But, you know, all of my cousins, which, you know, they all sprang from that amazing well. And I went to public school, as many kids out there do, because I also, you know, grew up with, you know, kind of limited resources, as a lot of people do. And I was really lucky to have an amazing 4th grade teacher who really encouraged me, like, on my creative path. And she was the first person who ever gave me, like, a creative writing assignment. And I forgot how old I was, like however old you are in 4th grade, but I was like, oh man, I have so many stories I want to tell. This is going to be amazing. And I just, I was a total overachiever. Like, you're only supposed to write a page, but I wrote like 4 pages of story. and drew pictures with it and everything, you know. And of course, when I turned it in, she was like, "This is amazing! Like you have a talent for this, you know." And that's when I realized, wow, maybe I could be a writer someday, or like an artist or something like that. Miss Mahoney. Thanks, Miss Mahoney. She was amazing.
And just because you're asking how old you are when you're in fourth grade, you're teen age, because that's 9 to 10. So.
There you go.
Because we got the whole, run the whole pipeline here, from staff writer, story editor, showrunner. That is a fellow panel, in case anyone was wondering. So I'm going to ask everyone here briefly, as briefly as you can, describe your day-to-day responsibilities and work. Just so that way, for anyone who is maybe not familiar with some of the finer points of what you do, what does that entail? What is show running like? Are you like on the edge of a major caravan just flipping all the horses while the writers pulling away, or little mush dogs? What does that look like?
Honestly, every day is different. So I can't really say what the day-to-day is, but on a weekly basis, I talk to many different people. Our crew is huge, and from like design to storyboard to like the timers and the checkers and to the writers, to even the animation studios. There's just a lot of people to communicate with, because I mean that's basically my job, is to be the person who is leading all these different parts of the show and letting people know, like, no, this way, let's go this way, everybody. This is the shape that we should have this show be in. So it's very interesting because I kind of bop around all the different sections, and I always think, wow, the people who are in this particular section probably think I don't do shit on this show. Because it's like I'm just working with them on this small part of the show, but honestly, it's like it's tending to all the gears in this giant machine. Like it feels like you're kind of running like a giant ship in a way. So you have to check on all the different levels of the ship to make sure that the ship is going to run properly and it's going to float. It's hard to explain.
No, I think if there's one thing you probably don't do enough of is sleep.
Indeed, yeah, sleep is a high commodity right now.
But let me ask you a little bit about your relationship with the writing team, including the story editor. How do you direct and guide the writers for your show?
That's been really fun, and I am so overjoyed that you've been a part of it, Angela. Like the stories you're writing,
She's flattering me now, guys.
She's writing some really magnificent stories, and I want everybody to see them. They're very real. They're coming from a super honest place, and they're extremely funny. And I'm so excited for that. I'm excited for the world to see these. But yeah, I mean, I feel like my role in the writer's room, I tried to take a little bit of a backseat because honestly, I have a really strong story editor, Carla, who, she helped story edit on the Loud House and Casa Grandes. So she really knows what she's doing in terms of like running a writer's room. I've never run a writer's room before. So for me, I was like, let's just let other people have the moment to shine. And that's very true, I think, of the writers that we picked too, because the writer's room is full of people who lived experiences that, reflect all the lives of the characters in the show. That was really, really important to us when we picked, everybody that we picked for the writer's room. There had to be like some way that they would be able to relate to the characters and the lives that we were portraying on the show. If I didn't let those people stand out and like tell their own stories and shine, then I feel like I would be doing the show a massive disservice, honestly. It is based on my life, but I feel like the best way that you can get something good is by creating a collaborative atmosphere where people feel safe to tell their own stories. It's extremely important to me. So I never wanted to be like the hammer that was like, no, this is not the story we're going to tell. I feel like, since it is based on my life, there is a guide to that. Like, for me, I'm like, well, I want to stick to something that's true to me too, though, and something that's true to the other writers. So as soon as it starts to feel like we're kind of veering from a truth, then that's when I'm like, okay, well, let's guide this back to the truth. You know, what is the real story that we're trying to tell here? And that has become extremely important recently. You know, it's super important to tell a story that feels true to you, to tell a story that you've lived, because then you can always say, this is my story. You know, that's the power of telling your own story, is being able to defend it that way. That's all I gotta say.
Yes. Preach.
That was awesome. But you know, everybody spoke Spanish except for me. And it's something I've struggled with like my whole life, you know, like it's interesting to grow up in a school where Spanish is not a priority, you know, like the resources to learn Spanish are things I got later as an adult, you know, but like as a little kid, if your parents don't have the skill set to teach a language to you, you know, then it's just not gonna happen. So that whole thread is in this story that we're telling. And I'm really hopeful too that a lot of people will identify with it, even outside of the Latino community, because I think this is a very Los Angeles story. You know, a lot of different people come here, like we're a melting pot. That's kind of the amazing beauty of this region. Like just looking at this audience, I'm just like amazed by the diversity that's showcased here today. And that's the stuff that touches my soul. You know, it's like telling stories about people who are different than me. You know, yeah, people who represent me, but also just people who are relatable. You know, that's like the kind of stories I love to tell. So it's everything. You know, that's like the whole reason why I got into animation, was so that I could tell this very specific story about this multicultural family and something that I've never seen on TV personally, especially in animation.
Amen to that.
All right. I felt that in my soul. I had to like learn how to like, you know, make people hear me in this mic. Like even just like, being up on this panel feels like you're, you know, advocating for yourself. But honestly, it's really a struggle. I mean, I'm a showrunner. I've like made my own show. I'm leading a crew, and like every single day is a challenge because every single day I have to advocate for myself and my crew. You know, so it's really hard. But the cool thing is that you find your passion to guide you. Like if you have a story that you want to tell, if you have art that you want to make, you're already creating your voice for yourself. You know, like I don't know what you do, if you draw or if you write or if you're both, that's already advocating for yourself in your own way, you know? And hopefully you can build on that passion, like, because sometimes that will lead you to other things, like, you know, Nora was saying, was like, you know, talking to other people that maybe is outside of your comfort zone. I really had to learn that as a showrunner, like just pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. That's part of the learning, that's part of like guiding yourself towards your passion, totally. And you know, you can find like other ways to do it besides just talking to people. You know, like when the whole thing happened in June, I was like, I'm not the kind of person who, you know, the thing. I was like, I'm not the kind of person who's gonna go on TikTok and make a big statement or whatever. What I'm gonna do is write a comic about my experience. And that's kind of the way I handled it, because that's the way I always do handle it, and that's the way I feel comfortable handling it. You know, so you can even find kind of different ways to advocate for yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean like going up to a stranger and being like, you know, hello, you know, but that's also very helpful too. Thank you all for all the gems that you have shared this afternoon. Let's give it a
Well guys, that'll be it for now for this week. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun making this video. I think this is one of the most fun videos I did in recent years. By recent years, I mean like recent months, I'm sorry. But the thing is, well, I had a good time meeting all these amazing people. Special thanks to Natasha herself, Bartlett, oh my god, and everyone else that were in the video. I gotta say, I had a great time. Love meeting everyone. Every time I go to animation events like these, it really does help me reach my viewership and my audience. So thank you for all of that. And for everyone else for watching, thanks for watching as well. Don't forget to comment, subscribe if you want to. feel free, okay? Feel free to donate. All right, later.